Take one of the finest bookshelf or stand mount speakers that Bowers has ever made, upgrade it with a much improved finish that looks stunning, and better internal components, and then sell it for a little bit more, right? Well, that would generally be the case, except for the fact that we now have the Bowers & Wilkins 705 signature in the Datuk wood finish for cheaper. Welcome back, everybody. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to tell you about all the great features inside this speaker in just a minute. Here's your question of the day. What's the best deal you've ever seen for a new audio product? So, a little background about Bowers & Wilkins. Founded by John Bowers in England, he owned an electronics store and decided that it needed better speakers, so he thought he'd make his own. Today, Bowers enjoys international success and incredible brand recognition throughout all of the world. The 705 signature takes a speaker, the original 705 S2, which was an excellent speaker, especially at its price point and where it slotted into the market, and makes it better in many, many ways. So, what has actually evolved in this speaker to make it worthy of the signature logo other than just the gorgeous finish, which would pretty much be enough just as it is? Let's just go top to bottom, shall we? At the top, we have the Bowers & Wilkins Carbon Dome tweeter in this external enclosure, separate from the rest of the cabinet, also known as decoupling. Bowers does this on their higher-end 700 series products and on all of their 800 series products, and it's kind of become their calling card, both in style and in performance. This is shaped almost kind of like a reverse horn if you look closely. However, the tweeter itself is made out of a carbon material. They just call it the Carbon Dome. And that is a material that works really, really well for tweeters because other than pure diamond itself, like on the 800 series, that's what we're getting there, carbon is the next best thing in terms of making a material that is really, really rigid and really, really light. It'd have to step up to being literal actual diamond to be better, and that is the entire point of the series above this one. However, these tweeters are exceptionally detailed. Moving down below into the cabinet, we're going to take a look at that woofer. It probably looks familiar to you if you've seen any of our other Bowers videos or you just know Bowers in general. That is a continuum cone mid-woofer. We call it mid-woofer because in a two-way bookshelf like this that doesn't have a dedicated bass driver, this has two jobs: to recreate what are generally called bass frequencies as well as mid-range frequencies. And it does so particularly well because continuum as a material is well suited to this. What is continuum? It's part Kevlar blended with other aramid fibers. Aramid fibers being fibers that are very, very, very rigid, dense, yet remarkably light. You want something that can hold its shape and act like a piston as it moves, but is really, really light, so you don't need a ton of force to move it and it can respond quickly. And music can get pretty fast. So that is what's the same, but you'll immediately notice the look is different. While the original 705 had great finish options, they just don't compete with this gorgeous Datuk wood finish, and the fact that you now have the tweeter finished in silver rather than the traditional black, making for a great offset and a very nice contrast if you ask me. But there's still more to this speaker. In the 705 signature, on the inside, something has changed. That would be the crossover, and that's the thing that we almost never see unless we take the speaker apart. The better inductors, the better capacitors, etc. that you use in a crossover, the more clear and accurate your sound's going to be. In the 705 signature, all of the capacitors are now made by a company called Mundorf. If you know anything about speaker design, you know that's one of the best names in capacitors, period. So these are on a whole nother level. The original 705 S2 stood out for being very expressive, very detailed high notes, solid mid-range, and relatively good bass response. Since this woofer gets the entire cabinet to itself, that's pretty helpful. These take everything good about the 705 S2 and they further improve upon it. Those detailed high notes are now, I'd say, just as detailed, but I genuinely feel that this speaker over time becomes less fatiguing than the 705 S2 Standard Edition. There's definitely less listening fatigue, a little bit more extended high resolution detail, and I feel like mids have improved on this speaker. In the 700 series speakers, my one major criticism has always been that while they can be a little bright, maybe sometimes mids can feel like they fall a little behind, but I think the Signature series has done a lot to mitigate that. Again, better crossovers make for better separation and better focus on each of these frequencies, and now voices sound a little bit more natural and blend better into the tweeter. From the sound, to the incredible Datuk finish that looks amazing. These are going to look so good in your room. Don't even get me started. Click on the link down below to go to skybygramophone.com, where you can check out securely and get fast and free shipping straight to your door. We also have these in stock in our showrooms, so make sure you stop by because we'll be displaying a 700 series signature pair in all of our showrooms, Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, and I want you to come hear them for yourself. You deserve to hear something this good, and we're going to have fun demoing it together. And don't forget about our beautiful Kitchen Design Center in Hunt Valley. You got beautiful speakers? Go get yourself a beautiful room. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by today. Hope you learned something, and I hope this deal excites you. Comment down below with any additional questions you might have. Please give this video a like. And of course, don't forget that question of the day. Be seeing you.